What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today, I'm going to be bringing you guys a video just discussing on how to beat the brand new Fortnite coming out, which is the Kimono Straw Hats Rising Sun, Rising Fortunes Fortnite Dungeon. Now, this is a brand new Fortnite dungeon that introduces 3 new units, being the Kimono, Luffy, Zoro, and Nami. Now, as we like to do, guys, let's go ahead straight into the video and break down the actual units that you'll be able to pick up in this dungeon. So the first unit we're going to be discussing is the Monkey D. Luffy Gum Gum Bazooka, the Storm, also known as the Kimono Luffy. Now, he is a 4-star unit which has no evolutions whatsoever, and he is a strength fighter type unit, very similar to the base Luffy that you get at the start of the game. Now, at level 1, as you can see, he's got pretty basic stats. When you max him out at level 99, he has 1748 health, 1250 attack, and 192 recovery. So for a 4-star unit, it's actually pretty decent. Like, for his attack to be 1250, that's actually pretty powerful for a 4-star unit. Now, his captain effect will boost the attack, HP, and recovery of all strength units on your crew by 1.5 times. So definitely not a unit you really want to be using as a lead. Definitely not a very good captain. However, his special ability, which will start at 23 turns and max out at 13 turns, will reduce silence duration by 3 turns and deal 15 times his attack in strength damage to a single enemy. Now, that is actually pretty decent to reduce silencing by 3 turns. That is very, very nice. I can automatically think one dungeon that'd be really good against would be against the Piranha dungeon, where it just reduces all of your silence by 3 turns, which is what Piranha puts on you, and then boom, you'll be ready to go. So, overall, he's a pretty decent unit. You know, not a bad unit, but definitely not a good unit by any stretch of the imagination. But let's move on to the next unit, which is Zoro. So here we have Roronoa Zoro 3000 Worlds the Storm, who is a 4-star unit, Dex Slasher, very similar to the base Zoro that you get. Now, level 1, very similar stats to the Kimono Luffy, and at max stats, he has 2,175 health, 1,188 attack, and 132 recovery. So overall, for a 4-star unit, it's actually pretty nice stats. And then his captain effect will boost the attack, HP, and recovery of Dex units for your crew by 1.5 times. So you can already see a pattern here, and the special ability, which starts at 20 turns and maxes out at 10 turns, will reduce the bind duration, or the chains duration, by 2 turns and deal 10 times his attack in Dex damage to all enemies. So you can see that the Kimono Luffy and the Kimono Zoro go hand in hand, and they're actually pretty decent units. You know, as I said, they're not bad units, but they're not really great units either. They're just pretty standard units. They're very, very nice attack. They've all got pretty low cost as well, so you can also use them in Sengoku teams as well. So they're actually pretty decent. So now let's move on to the last unit introduced into this dungeon, which is the Kimono Nami. So as I said, the last unit introduced here is the Nami Mirage Tempo the Heavens, who is a 4-star unit and an Int Striker, very similar once again to the base Nami that you get throughout the story mode. Now, level 1, as you can see, your stats are, you know, it's level 1 stats, and then when you max her out at level 99, she has 1260 health and a little under 1,000 attack and 361 recovery. Her captain effect, similar to the Luffy and the Zoro, will boost all stats of Int type characters by 1.5 times. So again, you know, not a unit you really want to be using as a captain, but the special here, which starts at 20 turns and maxes at 10 turns, will reduce damage received from Int enemies by 100% for a single turn and recovers a random amount of HP. So very similar to the Mirage Tempo Nami that we already have, except that the fact that this, I think, is 1 or 2 turns higher cooldown than Mirage Tempo at maxed. So, if you think about it, you know, it depends. With Mirage Tempo, you're still going to receive no damage from Int enemies for a single turn. However, with this Nami, with the Kimono Nami, you have a little bit of health that is recovered. So, both of these units, very, very nice to use against Int raid bosses or Int Fortnite dungeons. So, make sure you try and max out these characters. Also, the skill books for this Nami are available in the exact same Fortnite dungeon as well, so you don't have to try and get the hidden boss all the time to try and get skill ups. You can just use the skill books that you find within the dungeon as well. So now let's move on to the actual breakdown of the dungeon and all of the different stages within it. So a little bit different from previous Fortnite dungeons, throughout stages 1 to 5, which is a 7-stage dungeon, you'll be able to find story mode characters that have been previously put into the story and you can actually get them to drop in this Fortnite dungeon. So let's go through the characters here. We got Mr. 9, we got Mr. 8, we got Moji and Richie, Kabaji, we got Patty and Kane, we have Yozoku and Johnny, Nazumi and Iron Fist Full Body. We also have Hachi and Mr. 2. Now, out of this batch here, definitely Mr. 2 is the highlight character here, because I know that a lot of people might not even have Mr. 2. You can get him through Rare Recruit. You can also get him to drop on stage 3 or 4 of Alubana. So if you guys don't have Mr. 2, this is definitely the right Fortnite to farm, because you can actually get him to drop, and it's pretty nice. So if you guys needed any of these story mode characters, you can stop farming them right now, as you'll be able to get them in this Fortnite dungeon. So all of these stages between 1 to 5 will have a chance of getting either of these characters. They all won't be available in one single run, so it will be different each time you play, but you will be able to find each of these characters throughout playing the Fortnite dungeon. Now, moving on from that, the hidden stage in this dungeon is the hidden boss being the Kimono Nami. Now, Kimono Nami, once you reach her, she has 220,000 health with an attack power of 1780, and she will attack every single turn. Now, she'll preemptively apply a debuff protector and will go to convert your int orbs into blank orbs. So again, like a very, very simple sort of stage. She's very, very easy to beat. She doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So it really, like, there isn't really much to say. It's only her. There are no pigs, penguins, other pirates or marines. There's just her by herself. Very, very simple stage here. Now let's move on to the miniature boss and the final boss of this dungeon. So when you reach stage 6 or 7, you'll encounter Zoro and Luffy. Now, Luffy and Zoro can both either appear on stages 6 or 7. So once you reach stage 6 on a single run, let's say you find Zoro, and then the next one after that will always be Luffy. Or you could get a run where Luffy is first, and then it'll always be Zoro as the second, or as the last boss. So let's go over Zoro here. Now, once you reach Zoro, he has a 540,000 health, and he will attack for 7,392 damage with an attack interval of 2, which will go down to 3 after his first attack. So when you reach him below 50% health or less, he'll do 7,500 damage and chain your whole left side of your crew for 3 turns. So definitely you want to try and burst him down as quick as possible. It would be really nice if you guys brought some powerful strength units to take him down as quick as possible. As I said, you do have like 2 turns to take him down before he attacks you. However, once he reaches below 50%, you will be taking a lot of damage. So make sure you take him out as quick as possible. So as I said, bring a lot of powerful strength units in this dungeon. And the final boss here is the Kimono Luffy. Now, he has 540,000 health, very similar to Zoro, and he attacks for 2,418, and he will attack every single turn. Now, after every attack, Luffy will boost his attack by 0.1 times, which will actually stack over time. So the more times he gets to attack you, the more powerful he will become. And when he drops below 20%, he will actually recover back up to 50%. And if he falls below 20% once again, he will deal 20,000 damage to you. So that is just something to keep in mind when you're trying to take down Luffy, that you don't get him under 20% to try and get him all the way back up. And if that does happen, try not to get him down under 20% once again, otherwise you probably will die depending on what team you're going to bring. So yeah, just make sure you take him down as quick as possible, or perhaps getting him to 20% and then burst him down that last 20%. But he only does have 540,000 health. It is not a whole lot of health, so it shouldn't be that difficult to take down Luffy with the correct team. So before we go into the actual teams that will be able to clear this dungeon, let's go into the notable skill books that you'll be able to find within this Fortnite dungeon. So Trafalgar Law, which is definitely the most sought after skill book, which was available, I think, in the Halloween Fortnite dungeon, but you can get his skill books here as well. So if you don't know what he does, he changes all slots other than Dex to either Dex, Recovery, or Tandem, and obviously that can be partnered with Apu, who changes all Recovery and Tandem slots to Dex. So a very, very nice special to get to max. Also, Chess Marimo is also be able to be found in this dungeon. You can change all Strength to Recovery and all Recovery to Dex. So just a nice orb manipulator for your Dex team. Also, you got Mr. 3 as well, which will delay all enemies for a single turn. And then, as I said before, you'll be able to find Gnarly Mirage Tempo, the Heaven skill books, which, as I said before, reduces damage received from enemies by 100% for a single turn, and you also get a little bit of recovery for your health as well. So now that we've gone over just about everything for this Fortnite dungeon, let's go ahead and break down the teams that will be able to beat this dungeon pretty easily. So the first team that I'm going to recommend to you here is a double monster chopper team, as well as applying a golden pound Usopp. So with this team here, you really can run any strength units that you wish. You could run Blackbeard, Whitebeard if you do have him, Gear 3 Luffy, or any type of Luffy really, because they're all pretty much strength units at this point. You could run Flamenco, you could run Kid, you could run Arlong. There's just a whole bunch of units that you could bring for a monster chopper team, and any of them would be great, just as long as you bring the most powerful strength units that you have in your character box, as well as Golden Pound Usopp. Now, the reason why you bring in Golden Pound Usopp is just because you want that turn delay against Luffy, just in case you are unable to take him down in a single turn, because as you guys know, as I just said before, he does attack every single turn. Now, monster chopper teams do not have a lot of health, so you don't want to be taking a lot of damage. So it's good to have Golden Pound Usopp just to delay Luffy, and you can take him down very quickly. Obviously, when you're against Zoro, you can pretty much take him down in one turn anyway, so you probably wouldn't even have to worry about that at all. But yeah, it's just a nice team to bring. It's very, very quick, gets through the dungeon very, very easily, and yeah, I just think it's the best team to take down this Fortnite dungeon. Now, another team that you could potentially bring is another striker team, so using Double Kid would be a very, very nice team. You've also got Alvida and Flamenco as really, really nice strength units to bring. I've also got listed on this team Kaku and the Crocodile that was in the previous Fortnite dungeon previous to this one. And those are basically there so that you can take down Luffy a little bit easier by having Crocodile and Kaku there as well. Now, Crocodile's special is also something really, really nice as well, which will boost all of your strikers by 1.5 times for a single turn. So if you have that special active, you can do a lot of damage to the Kimono Luffy once you reach him. When you reach Zoro, he shouldn't be too much of a problem because you have 4 strength units on your team that are all getting, you know, a 6.25 times boost or something like that. It's crazy with the Kid team how easy it is, and obviously with the Kid specials you can give yourself red orbs. You have Alvida for damage reduction, you have orb manipulation with Flamenco. Like, it's just crazy the amount of power that you get out of this team, and I definitely think that this is a really, really safe team to go with. It's just as good as the Monster Chopper team. Both of these teams should be able to defeat the Kimono Straw Hats event aisle very, very easily. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to smack the like button down below as always, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.